The following is a special presentation of Big Polly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our latest installment of the Hometown Football League. This is game number 84 here on the Big Polly's World of Sports Sims YouTube channel. Whoever wins this game between Denver and San Francisco goes to the playoffs. If San Francisco wins, they're 13 and 4. Kansas City at 12 and 5 would be the best they could do. And San Francisco has the first tiebreaker. They would win the West Division with a win today. San Francisco swept Kansas City earlier in season 2. If Denver wins, that's 11 wins for them, and that would guarantee them a wild card spot. By the way, congratulations to Dallas and Kansas City. With Pittsburgh losing earlier in the week, they have now made the playoffs. So the field is narrowing in terms of who will make the playoffs and who won't. But whoever wins this game will go to the playoffs. That will start a little over a week from now. The starting date will be, let me see now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, May 9th for the playoffs, Lord willing, and if my creek does not rise. San Francisco is the home team, so we're at Levi's Stadium, a 56-degree day. Very slight wind, 0 to 5 mile per hour. We have John Elway playing in favor of Peyton Manning as with the unofficial season usage rules kicking in. I know Action PC Football 2022 coming out, if it hasn't come out already, coming out nearly immediately, but we will use Action PC 2021 for the remainder of this project. San Francisco, quarterbacked by Steve Young. Coin flip goes San Francisco's way. They will defer until the second half. It is Rick Upchurch, Drones, and Royal back for Denver in white, San Francisco in the reddish burgundy colors. And Upchurch took it 21 yards to the 22. Will set the lineup. Terrell Davis back in with Wendell Hayes. Smith and Taylor, the wideouts. Shannon Sharp, the tight end. Elway out of Stanford, your quarterback. Took Denver to 2 Super Bowls in the late 90s. Clady, Bishop, Nalen, Howard, and Lepsis are your offensive linemen, and it's 1st and 10 from the 22. Elway back to throw. He's looking. It's picked. And that was Grayson. Dave Grayson with his second pick of the year. So we'll have to get to San Francisco, the Gold Raiders defense, a little later. But for now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38, and we'll give you San Francisco's offense. Gore and McElhenney are your running backs, and they have been the running backs most of the year. It's Wilson and Parks. Remember, Jerry Rice is with Seattle this year. Really hasn't helped them that much. George Kittle is the tight end. Young is the quarterback. It's Shell, Upshaw, Otto. Cross and St. Clair, a very solid offensive line. And we'll just do the fundamentals here and go to Gore on a dive on 1st down. And that's a gain of 6. Against Jacksonville last week, Gore ran for 111 yards on 14 carries. Defensively, for Denver, we can get to their defense since there was no big play here on this first play. Price, Doomerville, Costa, and Smith, your front 4. Miller, Gradishar, and Mecklenburg, your linebackers. Harris Jr., Wright, Atwater, and Thompson will be your defensive backfield. We'll go back to Gore again on 2nd and 4. Go to the outside this time, and Gore noses the football over that created 1st down marker you see on television. So it's 1st and 10, and the Gold Raiders will hope to do it again from the 27 of Denver. Slant to Billy Wilson here, 1st and 10. And a sack as Doomerville came up from behind and walloped Steve Young. And That sets up 2nd and 16 from the 33. How about McElhenney on a screen pass? San Francisco, of course, masters of that short passing game in the 80s. McElhenney dropped that one. 3rd and 16. San Francisco going into the wind, so they definitely want to get a little closer. If not get the first, we'll go Cliff Branch over the middle on a slant. Look for 21 here. Instead, it was a dump off to Kittle, a gain of 4. Atwater, 100 tackles for him this season. 4th and 12 from the 29. Little better than a 50-50 shot that Sebastian Janikowski can hit from 46. And he does. 3-0 in favor of the Gold Raiders with 11:32 left to go, opening quarter. And Upchurch again back deep for Denver. And that ball kicked in the end zone for the touchback. Let's give you the San Francisco defense. Haley is a 10-plus defensive end. And you got Hardman, Leo Nomalini, and Dana Stubblefield. On that front four, it's Mack, Willis, and Wilcox, your linebackers. Willie Brown leading the defensive backfield along with Johnson, Grayson, and Woodson. A lot of SONs on the San Francisco/Oakland squad. 1st and 10 from the 20. Won the championship last year. Been struggling as of late, and Elway was looking for Lionel Taylor there, and Brown provided great coverage. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Just getting started, and the Gold Raiders with a 3-0 lead, and there's a sack. Charles Haley introducing himself to Mr. Elway. And it's 3rd and 15 from the 15. And Elway dropping back, looking, and he has Smith, but it's going to be short of the first down by 2 yards, getting 13, needing 15. So it's punting time for Denver, and it was Frazier punting it, and the punt's going to go inside the 20. I am going to return it. And nobody touched Frazier, so Frazier didn't go down. 5-yard return by John Taylor. The punt went 51, the net 46. So the Gold Raiders now nursing a 3-0 lead. Will go McElhenney on a dive. San Francisco has been upset prone the last couple of weeks. But like I said, they could still clinch a playoff spot with a win today. Miller on the tackle of Hugh McElhenney. No gain. And we'll look to Cliff Branch on a short crossing route. Denver playing short tight, so I'm going to take Branch and I'm going to go medium fly with him. See if we could beat the coverage. And that was not Branch, but Frank Gore. They both wear 21, which in the HTFL you can do. And he gained 8 yards on that pass reception. 3rd and 2. We'll go Gore on a stretch play. 8 in the box for... Looking like it was 8 in the box for Denver. They make the first down just barely. 1st and 10 for the Gold Raiders at the 38. We are 8:11 now left, opening quarter. It is 3-0. Screen, McElhenney, 1st and 10 at the 36. Last time they tried that, it was bounced off of McElhenney's hands. But this time it's a 6-yard gain, and Randy Gradishar making the tackle for the Denver Broncos. 2nd and 4, the ball at the 42. We'll go Kittle. Hey diddle diddle. Let's send George Kittle over the middle. And Young dropping back, and he's got Kittle. Kittle played on that Super Bowl, what was it, 54 team, I believe it was, that played Kansas City and lost. Parks is going to be out a few plays, so it's now Freddie Bolitnikoff coming in at 1 receiving position. 1st and 10 at the 49. Bolitnikoff, of course, out of Florida State. Trap left, Frank Gore, 1st and 10 at the 49 of Denver. And Gore is loose, a gain of 14. Right on the stop for Denver. And San Francisco pushing the Broncos around here. But 11 wins right now will definitely get you a playoff spot. Denver is at 10. San Francisco already clinching a playoff spot, and a win would give them the Western title. They would be the first team to clinch a playoff spot, a division championship, and be guaranteed a top 4 seed. Bolitnikoff, medium cross. First and 10 from the 35, and there's Bolitnikov, a gain of 16. I think Bolitnikov ended his career in the Canadian Football League, if I remember correctly. First and 10. I think he played for the Alouettes of Montreal. First and 10 at the 19. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm not a walking CFL encyclopedia like I am with the NFL. And we'll go jet sweep to Casper, one of the tight ends. And Casper gaining nothing. Dumerville on the stop. Casper, of course, in 1977 had that famous ghost to the post play as they beat Baltimore in double overtime, one of the rare occasions in NFL history. A game needed 2 OT periods to conclude. Second and 10 in the 19, but they lost the following week to Denver, and then Denver lost to Dallas in Super Bowl 12. Screen to Gore. Second and 10 at the 19. And Gore incomplete. Price knocking that down. Third and 10. Ball at the 19. And we're going to look to a medium out to Billy Wilson. And Wilson with the catch. Tiptoes down the sidelines. A gain of 13 yards. And that moves San Francisco to first and goal to go country at the 6. We'll go McElhenney. And we will pitch it to the left side with the double tight end formation. Kittle and Casper in there, and McElhenney scores. Touchdown Gold Raiders. And it's more than a one-score differential already. 9-0, 3:20 left, opening quarter. Your extra point by Janikowski is true. It is 10-0 with 3:20 left to go, opening period. And Upchurch back again for Denver. Score holds. San Francisco will win the West Division. They will be the first team to clinch a division championship. First and 10 at the 26. Denver wins. They make the playoffs no matter what. And Wendell Hayes with a 4-yard gain. Leo Namalini on the stop. It's second and 6 now from the 30. Elway looking. Plenty of time. That's got to be pass interference, right?
Defense.
It is.
Number 37, automatic, first down.
That penalty against Jimmy Johnson. No, not the coach. Not how about them Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson. But Jimmy Johnson, who was a great defensive back in his era for the 49ers. That will be a 14-yard penalty, spot penalty, and it's first and 10. The ball now at the 44 of Denver. With 2:15 left, opening quarter, we have a 10-0 San Francisco lead. Incomplete. That was intended for Sharp. And he had it for a moment, but Dave Grayson came along, knocked the ball loose. Second and 10 at the 44. They ruled it an incompletion. Of course, the NFL draft is tonight. No game. I was listening to the Rays game this afternoon. They beat Seattle 2-1. And they have the Twins coming in for a 3-game set. Third and 10 at the 44. And this is an incompletion. Brown jumped the route, and Elway is off to a slow start. 1 for 5, 13 yards. Frazier in the punt. And we'll return it. Although the return's going to start from about the 4. Taylor ran it back 6 yards out to the 10, a gain of 6. The punt went 52, and I'm going to cough for a moment, folks. My apologies. First and 10 from the 10 for San Francisco, leading by 10. And we'll go Gore, pitch right. And Gore gets back to the line. Smith making the tackle for Denver, one of their defensive tackles. 1:09 left. They'll go 3 wide and throw caution to the wind here. A screen to Gore. Gore has it. He will get a first down and more, 16 yards. That is his second catch of the game for 24 yards. Young, 7 for 9 for 72 yards. That will do it for the opening quarter. San Francisco 10, Denver nothing. Denver 7 plays, just 12 yards. 5 of their plays passes. San Francisco 17 plays, 99 yards. 9 of their plays were passes. And with the 10-0 lead, I think they just want to pound some rock here. Off tackle left, Frank Gore. 8 in the box for Denver, but Gore will pick up 5. Thompson on the stop for Denver, who just needs one win, we're thinking, to make the playoffs either to this week or next. Sweep to the right, Frank Gore. We think when we have records of 10 and 8, that's where you could see some teams not making it. I've been saying a while now, 10 and 8 will probably be good enough for the playoffs, but we could have a multiple way tie for the last playoff spots at 10 and 8 or 9 and 9. That was a loss of 4, by the way, by Gore. Dumerville with the tackle for loss. We'll go Branch on 3rd and 9. Short crossing route, and it goes off of his hands. Drilled by Harris Jr. You hear the Denver fans cheering. They want a break here. But Ray Guy, with a little bit of wind, punting for San Francisco. Upchurch, a return
Holding.
of 17
Receiving
yards. And as you hear underneath me, the officiating crew is going to assess a holding penalty on Harris Jr., backing Denver all the way back to the 14. We have 13-15 left to go in the half, and San Francisco leading 10-0. Here we go. Elway, who's off to a slow start, throws underneath to Terrell Davis. Gain of 8. Taylor, slow getting up. Taylor is one of the wide receivers. He will be back in a few plays. Brandon Marshall coming in to replace him. So the tandem is now Smith and Marshall. Marshall, a 9 wide receiver. 2nd and 2 from the 22. Deuce is wild, but they get Davis for a 4-yard loss. Willis on that tackle. 3rd and 6 from the 18. And Elway, who's been struggling, throws another incompletion. Johnson dived for it, but he was tangled up with Shannon Sharp. Johnson probably had better position to make the grab and an interception, but not to be. Denver punting it away. Here's Frazier. Good punt from Frazier into the wind. 47
Offsides,
yards.
defense. 5-yard penalty.
And you had an offsides call against Hardman, which is going to be declined. And San Francisco taking over, 1st and 10 at the 35. I guess Denver liked the field position they gave San Francisco here. Combination, by the way, of the 49ers and Raiders, the times they played in Oakland. Sweep to the right, Frank Gore, 1st and 10 from the 35. And Gore with a 3-yard gain. Mecklenburg making the stop for Denver. 2nd and 7, the ball at the 38. We'll look to Cliff Branch on the short crossing route. Instead, I think that went underneath to Gore. Yes, it did. A play to Gore. Gradishar on the tackle. Parks is going to be out a few plays again. So it's Bolitnikov coming in now in favor of Parks. As teams getting banged up here in this Western Division contest, West Division. Screen, Hugh McElhenney, 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 45. Overthrew McElhenney that time. Young now 8 for 12, 79 yards. We'll look to Gore, off tackle, right side. They've been having success with the running game, and they get 5 yards out of that. As a team, San Francisco 12 carries, 42 yards, 3.5, and 1 touchdown. How about Kittle on a short hitch, 3rd and 5. And they get it to Kittle. Kittle, very reliable player. Jim Otto now hurt. He will return in a few plays. So they're getting banged up. San Francisco is, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Forrest Blue coming in. He's out of Auburn. 1st and 10 at the Denver 41. So we're going deep in the depth chart here if you are a Gold Raider fan. Sweep to the right, Frank Gore. So situation is San Francisco with a win wins the West. Kansas City is already assured of a playoff spot of some magnitude. 2nd and 8, but if they lose, they cannot win the West. The best they could do is a wild card. Gore gaining 2. Doomerville on the tackle for Denver. 10:09 now left. And San Francisco having a good time with it right now. Cross to Kittle on 2nd and 8. That is incomplete. Parker and Otto coming back in the game for the Gold Raiders. So now 3rd and 8. Slant, Wilson. And we have a marker down.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 20. Automatic. First down.
And Lewis Wright with the pass interference gets a first down for San Francisco. We're going to stretch it out with Gore. And Gore will pick up 2 yards. Price on the tackle. 9:08 left now in the half. We'll go McElhenney, same play, stretch play. And McElhenney gaining 3. 3rd and 5. Kittle on the short out on 3rd and 5. Ball to 27. That is incomplete. Deflected off of Miller. And San Francisco will have to punt it away. They won't have to punt it away. They actually can kick a field goal here from 44. Janikowski. No good. Wide left. And Denver takes over. 7:43. They may have been better off punting. 7:43 left in the half, and it's San Francisco with the 10-0 lead. Winner makes the playoffs. And this is a gain for Hayes. 6 yards, they're going to say. Hayes now 3 for 10. Davis off to a very slow start. 1 carry -4. 2nd and 4 at the 40. And that was right on the money to Rod Smith. Gain of 10. Johnson making the tackle for San Francisco. It's now 1st and 10, right on that HTFL logo at midfield. 6:48 left to go. Davis trying to atone for earlier losses. No gain there. It was Willis on the stop for San Francisco. 2nd and 10, ball at midfield. And this is an incompletion as Elway was looking for Terrell Davis again. Elway 3 for 9, 31 yards, 1 pick, which was his first throw of the game. 3rd and 10 from the 50 now. Elway batted at the line by Stubblefield. Incomplete. A watch for a fake here with 5:20 left in the half. And that punt by Frazier goes out of bounds at the 12. Taylor had no chance to get to it. 38-yard punt. 10-0. San Francisco with the lead. McElhenney on a dive. If they wind up in a tie with Washington, Washington will have the head-to-head advantage over them. So Washington, regardless of the point differential, the tiebreaker ahead of that is head-to-head record. So if it's just singularly San Francisco and Washington, Washington will get the edge. 2-yard gain there for McElhenney. Doomerville on the tackle. We'll go Casper, the friendly ghost, to the post. Short cross. He's on it. That's a gain of 10. And it's 1st and 10 at the 24. How about Wilson on the slant here in the double tight end set? Just to fool him a little bit, but the pass was ahead of Wilson's route. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. We'll go McElhenney sweep right. You got 2 good running backs in there for San Francisco. And that's a 6-yard gain. Kittle limping off. And he will not return. So a bit of a mash unit right now for San Francisco. Gordy Sotal comes in. He's a tight end. He was also a commentator for the 49ers on CBS back in the 60s or thereabouts. We'll go McElhenney on a dive, 3rd and 4. So that was not a good call. No gain. And with 3:17 left, McElhenney, by the way, 6 carries, 17 yards, not 19. Ray Guy out to punt. Upchurch a good returner. But that punt was a boomer, 54 yards, and out of bounds. So Denver taking over. They've only had 32 yards the entire first half. San Francisco 149. Got a couple of good defenses in here that are. Denver's is underrated. San Francisco with all those Raiders on it, very good as well. And that is Elway to Hayes, Wendell Hayes, a 3-yard gain. And Denver calling their timeouts ahead of the 2-minute warning. They have 2 left. San Francisco with 3, each team still with their challenge. 2nd and 7 from the 19. Here's Terrell Davis. His first real solid carry of the game is a gain of 9. Out to the 28, and Denver calling their second timeout. They have 1 remaining. You might want to save some of those after the 2-minute warning. That is incomplete. As Elway was looking for Lionel Taylor. Elway still struggling, 4 for 12, 34 yards. 2nd and 10 from the 28. The give is to Wendell Hayes. 2-minute warning now, 1:59 to be precise. Left in the opening half, and you score San Francisco 10 and Denver nothing. 3rd and 8 from the 30. Elway looking for Hayes, but that went over his head. An incompletion. And now San Francisco will get the ball back, barring a turnover. Caught by Taylor. Taylor with a little bit of running room, 11 yards. Punt went 44, so the net will be 33. 1st and 10, San Francisco at the 37. And we'll go medium out to Cliff Branch. Young's going to run, and he was good at it in his career. Gain of 8. We'll quickly call time and set up 2nd and 2. We got that wind at our back. We're going to go for the Bomba here to Wilson. And there it goes. Young. Incomplete. That was in and out of the hands of Wilson. 3rd and 2. The ball is at the 45. Denver has 1 timeout left, so we're just going to run on the inside. Gore, short. Gain of a yard. Denver will not call a timeout. So San Francisco will let the clock run to 47 seconds. And at 4th and a yard from the 46, we're going to go sideline punt with Ray Guy. Just play it safe. And that's a gain of 42 on the punt out at the 12. 41 seconds left, and Denver just with 1 timeout. We'll see what they do here. They give it to Davis. Gain of a yard. They do not call time, and Denver does not either. In fact, they could run the clock all the way down to the end of the half if they so choose, but instead they give to Wendell Hayes a gain of 4. 4 seconds left, and that should do it for our opening half. Your score, San Francisco 10 and Detroit nothing. And we'll be right back on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims YouTube channel. Getting ready for the second half of play. San Francisco 10-0 over Denver. Big Paulie coming to you for this next to last game of the 17th week of the HTFL. 1 more week in the regular season left after this. San Francisco, 38 plays, 158 yards. 20 of their plays have been runs. Denver, 22 plays, 51 yards. 13 of their 22 have been passes. Abe Woodson back deep. He's a return threat. Took it at the 6. And he will chug it up to the 28. A return of 22 yards. Both defenses playing well, but San Francisco's offense just playing all that bit better. Trap it left with Frank Gore, 1st and 10. I think you'll see a steady diet of runs. Here's Gore into the secondary and beyond into Denver territory. A gain of 31 yards. That puts Gore over 1,500 on the season. Today he is at 72 yards, I thought I saw. There we go. 13 carries, 72 yards. 1st and 10 at the Denver 41. We're going to sweep, and we're going to go McElhenney's way this time. 8 in the box for Denver, and that works to their advantage. A 4-yard loss for McElhenney. Pitch to Gore on 2nd and 14 as they want to commit to the run here. Denver playing way off the ball, and that allows Gore to get the first down, a pickup of 15. They needed 14 and got 15 with a run. And it's 1st and 10 at the 30. And we'll go back to Gore. Off tackle, left side. But a busted play there. Young scrambled for his life. Price got to him 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so it will be a 2nd and 13. Remember, the winner of this game gets to the playoffs. San Francisco's already got a berth, but if they win the West. Sweep left Gore. Kansas City, they could tie them, but San Francisco owns the tiebreaker. And there goes Gore. Another 14 yards and another first down on 2nd and long. Gore is now up to 101 yards on the day. Great performance out of Frank Gore, out of the U of Miami. Trap right Gore as they continue to use and bludgeon Denver with that double tight end set. A gain of 2, Von Miller on the tackle. Could we be seeing him in LA season 3? Let you know. 2nd and 12, the ball at the 21. Hitch to Billy Wilson. I'm not planning on doing season 3 until the start of 2023. Gain of 11. Gore again coming through on 2nd, and that makes it a 3rd and 1 situation. We'll just use Young on a dive here. And Young will go all the way from 10 yards out. Touchdown, Gold Raiders. So run, and have some fun. That's what San Francisco's doing. 8 plays, 72-yard drive, 5:45 left to go. Your extra point by Janikowski is good. 17-0 with 9:06 left in the 3rd. Upchurch again back deep for Denver. And again, the ball is kicked through the end zone for a touchback. So Denver with a lot of work to do now. And Elway has been battered around in this game. 4 for 13, 34 yards. Pitch to Wendell Hayes, and Hayes will gain a little bit. 7 yards, in fact. And Willis making the stop for the Gold Raiders. So San Francisco looking to be the first team to clinch the division. And that was intended for Marshall. Tight coverage by Johnson. Marshall was looking for a flag, and the referees are saying, no dice, son. 3rd and 3 at the 27. And Davis overthrown there by Elway. Elway has been so spooked by this San Francisco pass rush that he's making the simplest plays look like wonderful adventures, especially if you're with the Gold Raiders. 4th and 3, Frazier punting from his 15. And Taylor will gain 13 yards. The punt went 49. Carter on the tackle for Denver. So the net 36, the ball at the 37. So San Francisco 63 yards away from another score, should they get it. Trap right Frank Gore, who's already had a big day. 2 yards, so he goes back over 100 on the day. He lost yardage, fell to 99, so he has now gone over 100 yards a second time in the game, which is possible. McElhenney on a stretch, 2nd and 8, and McElhenney will gain 3. 3rd and 5, 7:07 left to go. How about Billy Wilson on a medium slant? He's got it. Wilson got loose. The ball came out. And Wilson right there with the recovery. So Wilson with the catch and the fumble recovery. Gain of 12. 1st and 10 at the San Francisco, not the San Francisco 46 anymore. The Denver 46. Trap left Gore. And Gore, no gain. They will pick up the penalty that was thrown. So Gore hanging on that 101. Not too far from Highway 101. We'll go, how about Soltal on an end around. And Soltal gaining 5 yards there. Could use a block, really didn't get it. Costa making the tackle. So a little dipper-do there. 3rd and 5 at the 41. And we'll cross to Gordy Soltal. Had a great year in season 1. And there's a catch by the sure-handed Gordy Soltal. 1st and 10, San Francisco, who was basically doing whatever they want right now. At the 32, we'll slow it down a little bit. Gore dive, 1st and 10. And Gore will pick up 3, and that gets them to 104 on the day. 2nd and 7, the ball at the 29. I don't know, maybe Levi Stadium is on Highway 101, but if not, it's not that far away. Slant to Parks on 2nd and 7. And Young dropping back. And he makes his first mistake, an interception. Atwater immediately tackled his second pick of the game. Pick of the year, I should say. 2:39 left, but Denver still trailing by 17. They have a lot of work to do now. We hope you all are well this April 28, 2022 as I record this. 1st and 10 at the 24. Draft night tonight. And look at Elway. Look at the room he had there. A 31-yard gain. Nobody covering Elway, and Denver in business at the San Francisco 45. And how many times have we seen one team trailing by a bunch and then getting it back, but not this time. That's a pick, and that is Willie Brown. And Willie Brown, old man Willie, going down the sidelines, finally stopped at the 17. 1st and 10 at the 17 now. So San Francisco gets the turnover right back. 2 for Denver, 1 for San Francisco at this point in the game. And we're going to look to Parks on a medium crossing route. Try to make him pay right away. Instead it goes to Gore. Gore with a 2-yard gain. Mecklenburg with his 10th tackle of the day. I think that is the 6th catch. No, 5 catches for Gore, 44 yards. 2nd and 8. And we'll pound it on the inside with McElhenney. And McElhenney straight ahead, 6 yards. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter of play. Your score going into the final 15, barring overtime, is San Francisco 17, Denver 0. San Francisco so far 56 plays, 33 rushes, 272 yards. Denver 27 for 89. That's all they have gotten the whole game, and 16 of their plays have been passes. Elway struggling big time. 4 for 16, 34 yards. So it's looking like right now San Francisco is 15 minutes away from the West Division title, and they'll be the first team to clinch. Gore, off tackle right. We have Minnesota and Cleveland for you tomorrow. No game. Cleveland with a 1-game lead in the North, but it's a reverse situation. Chicago is in 2nd place. If Chicago and Cleveland wind up tied, Chicago will get the head-to-head sweep. Chicago got the head-to-head sweep, so Chicago would finish ahead of Cleveland. So Cleveland has to win out to win the North, and they have the HTFL's best record. Only 3 losses. They're 13-3 right now. Trap right. Oh, wait a minute. It's 4th down. It's 4th down. No, do not call this play. 4th and 2. So I want to bring in Janikowski. He'll try a field goal here, very short. And that is good. 26 yards. And Janikowski mincing back to the sidelines. Real nifty, real sporty. As Crip Mack would say, it's 20-0 in favor of San Francisco. And it's really starting to look like they will win the West Division. The networks haven't projected it yet. Upchurch back deep. It's going to be taken by an up back, which was Royal. Royal gained 18 yards. We have possibly the kicker, Nedney, injured. Could be out for the game. Demarius Thomas coming in at one of the wide receiver positions. So it's Marshall, Smith, Lionel Taylor, and Thomas wears 88. 1st and 10 from the 18. Of course, he tragically passed away last season. And that is to Thomas. He will gain 12 yards. Speak of the devil. And speaking heavenly hopes for Mr. Thomas. 1st and 10 at the 30. I know Peyton Manning was setting up a scholarship in his name at Georgia Tech. And that was intended for Thomas. Tipped by Johnson, and Elway now. 5 for 18, 46 yards. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Elway to Davis. Davis picking up 7, 3rd and 3. 12:53 left to go in the fourth. And Davis will get the first down, pickup of about 6 yards. Davis on the day, 4 carries, 3 yards. That is it. San Francisco's really done a good job keeping him in check. 1st and 10 at the 43. Over the middle for Thomas, and that is a 16-yard gain. Johnson hit him hard, but Thomas hung on. Ball is at the San Francisco 41, 20 to nothing. Penalty there, it's got to be.
Pass interference.
You guessed
defense. Number 37, automatic, first down.
They get Lester Hayes, who has come into the game. Woodson has also come in. I think that is Abe Woodson. And it's 1st and 10 at the 33 now of San Francisco, which is, I think, the farthest Denver has gone. And that was batted by somebody.
The previous play is under review.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to review this, and then we'll run you through it.
Upon further review, the runner was down by contact.
So it was deflected by Nomalini right into the hands of Howard. He fumbled. Looked like Woodson had picked it up for San Francisco. And then Howard, by the way, is the right guard, so he made a catch in this game. 1st and 10 at the 19. He not being usually called upon to carry the ball, fumbled immediately, and it looked like San Francisco had recovered, but they ruled him down. So it's now 1st and 10 at the 19. Here's Davis with a lot of running room. Gain of 10. Nayland is now injured, but okay. 59% chance of an overturn if I challenge the spot.
The ruling on the field stands. A timeout will be charged.
And San Francisco loses a timeout and their challenge for the remainder of the game. 10-12 left. 1st and goal to go now for San Francisco at the 9. Marker before the play.
False start. Offense. Number 60. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
And Howard, who had just caught the pass, is called for the false start. 1st and goal at the 14. Elway sacked by Daniel Stubblefield. And Stubblefield dancing it up like he's on Soul Train. 2nd and goal. The ball is at the 25, or American Bandstand. Take the 70s show of your choice. 2nd and goal at the 25-yard line. 5 wide for Denver. That is a throw to Lionel Taylor, gaining 4 yards. So it's now 3rd and goal. Ball at the 21. I think Denver would have to go for it here if they don't get it. And no, they're going to kick a field goal. A field goal keeps them 3 scores down. This is inadvisable. Crossing pass to Rod Smith, incomplete. Elway now 9 of 23. So they'll try the field goal here, and they get it. McManus making it not a shutout for Denver. It's 20-3. 9:34. I'll watch for an onside kick, and it goes out of bounds.
Kicking team.
Which gives San Francisco the ball at the 40. 1st and 10. We're going to go back to the basics of just running the ball here. Off tackle left Gore on 1st, and he will pick up 5 yards. 21 carries for 109 now. 2nd and 5. The ball at the 45. About Gore on a dive. I think all of that rhymed. And that's a loss of a yard. Miller making the stop. 8:10 left. We'll look for Sotal on the short crossing route. And Sotal, he was sure-handed last year. He's sure-handed this year. A gain of 12 yards. Atwater on the tackle. It's 1st and 10 at the 44. Denver probably knows the plays San Francisco is running, but they can't stop them. McElhenney on a sweep left. 1st and 10 from the 44. He will gain 2 yards. And the clock continuing to move. It'll be under 6 minutes when we have the next snap. It's 20-3 in favor of San Francisco. And we're going to go sweep it left with Gore. Sweep the left. And this time Gore gaining 2 yards. Gradishar now joins the 10 tackle club with his 10th of the day. 3rd and 6. 3 wide in the game. We'll go to Branch on a short cross. And that is incomplete. We'll punt with Janikowski being about 27% from 57. And we'll do the old pooch punt. And let's see. Oh, good one. Down at the 4. A punt went 36 yards. We have under 5 minutes left to go in the game. It's looking like San Francisco is going to win the West Division with this win, 20-3. 4:46 left. Denver will have to wait till next week to clinch a playoff spot. Long to Thomas, but incomplete. Elway got hammered after the throw. No penalty called. He is 9 for 24 on the day. 2nd and 10. Ball to 4. Elway. That is complete to number 80, Rod Smith. A gain of 14. We have 4:25 now left to go. It's Elway finding Thomas. Thomas will gain another 12 yards. 1st and 10 from the 30. Denver did not do themselves any favors going for that field goal. They should have gone for the score. Thomas, 6 yards. Davis will not return after being shaken up, so it's going to be Clinton Portis in the remainder of the game at running back for Denver. 2nd and 4. Elway looking for Brandon Marshall. We thought Lester Hayes had intercepted it, but he was out of bounds. He had a foot on the sideline. 3rd and 4, ball at the 36. Elway finding Marshall this time. A gain of 8. He's now up to being 13 for 29 and 127 yards, but San Francisco giving him a lot of room now. Smith, a gain of 10, but just short of the first. 2nd and inches at the San Francisco 46, 3:13 to go. We had a crazy game earlier this week between New York and Pittsburgh. Go check that out. That's a gain of a yard to Thomas. And Johnson making the tackle, Jimmy Johnson. 1st and 10 at the 45. Elway going a little deeper, incomplete, looking for Thomas. Bishop hurt on the play, but he will stay in. He's the left guard for Denver. 2nd and 10 at the 45. This is the 10th play of the drive. Incomplete, looking for somebody, and Hardman got a hand on that to swat it down. 3rd and 15 at the 45. Wide receiver was out wide, so they basically had 5 receivers. Elway to Taylor, a gain of 4 yards. It's 4th and 6 at the 41. We have 2:34 left in the game, unless Denver makes a miraculous comeback. But Elway gets crunched by Hardman. And it's 20-3. San Francisco getting it on a turnover on downs. Trap right, Frank Gore. 1st and 10 from the 44. That is a gain of 4 yards. We'll go to the 2. It's 20-3. Celebrations continuing on the San Francisco sidelines. In fact, we're going to, hang on a moment there, Hugh. We're going to take Young out, and we are going to bring in Daryl LaMonica. Of course, in real life, LaMonica has just passed away, but we'll use him for a couple of handoffs. Here's Gore. Gain of 3 to set up 3rd and 3. And I'm going to milk the clock down to 1:14. 3rd and 3. Let Gore carry it again on a dive. And he is short of the first, and Denver does not call timeout. So I'll milk the clock down again, call my last timeout. 27 seconds left. San Francisco heading to the playoffs. We knew that already, but now we know that they will be guaranteed a spot in the top 4, which means if I could get the playoffs positioned the way I wanted to, they will have a 2-week bye. And still have to play next week, that 18th game. Here's Guy punting it deep. Upchurch took it at the goal line, tackled at the 9. Actually, he took it at the 1. So it's 1st and 10 at the 10. We have 21 seconds left. 3-1, deep zone prevent here. And that is incomplete, looking for Brendan Marshall. Elway's nightmare of a day continuing. 16-35 with 142 yards. 3-1, deep zone, prevent. Elway looking but not finding Demarius Thomas there. 3rd and 10. This will probably be the last play of the game. 3-1. Deep zone. Prevent. And here we go. Elway heaves it. Incomplete. The game is over. San Francisco has won the West Division. They are the first team in the HTFL to clinch a division. Final was 20-3. San Francisco, pretty decent performance, at least defensively. The MVP went to Gore. I'd give it to the defense of San Francisco that played well, held Denver to 199 yards. They got most of that yardage when the game was out of reach. San Francisco held the ball 40 minutes. They ran 66 plays. Denver only ran 50. So your player stats, Young was not all that great himself, 15 of 25, 144. But the running game took charge. Gore, 26, 117. Leading pass catchers were Frank Gore and Thomas. And we had Thomas leading the way with 47 yards, and he came off the bench in the fourth quarter. Leading tacklers were probably with Denver. Yes, Mecklenburg with 11 and Gradishar with 10. So again, your final, San Francisco clinches the West Division with a 20-3 win. Tomorrow night, we will do the recap of all the other games, and then we will do Cleveland and Minnesota. Cleveland needs to win out to make the win the North Division. They are 13-3. If Chicago ties with Cleveland, then Chicago will get the nod based on the head-to-head tiebreaker. Looking like anybody who gets to 11 wins will clinch a playoff spot this week. And if you're 10-8, 9-7, or 8-10, I'm sorry, take that back. If you're 10-7, 9-8, or 8-9, you still got a chance. So until then, everybody, until tomorrow, this has been Big Paulie wishing you all well. Godspeed and God bless to you all, and we'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.